Hey guys, it's windy outside, so you can probably hear it. But this is a pilot episode for a game show I'm working on. And you're only going to see a little bit of this. We're going to get through here, try to get through an entire game. But the real game is much bigger than this. But I'll see if I can get into some nuances if I have to, or if I can. And anyways, we're just going to play it and you're going to learn as we go. So, this is a crazy concept to fill in the gaps of knowledge. Welcome to Emergence. This is ChatGPT. Says that ChatGPT is the host, this is the pilot, so I'll explain the mechanics as we play. 3 contestants will try to identify a hidden subject from limited clues. The first clue is only 5 words. If nobody gets it, I'll add more clues. If each round 6 points, hence cost points, and thinking out loud matters. So, that dust really messes with how you type on the keyboard. It feels weird and everything. I'm working on that. Okay, so it says I wrote, I'll be contestant 1. You can add in 2 other contestants. So everyone starts at 0 points. Each question is worth 5 points. And that part grows if nobody gets it. So it says we will play as Alex and Jordan. Realistically, not perfectly, not dumb, just how an average person processes incomplete information. That's important because the game is about trivia. It's about how people reason under uncertainty. So this is also training AI how to process information as well. So it says round 1. Categories: history and events, disasters, man-made. 5 words. Reactor night test, explosion, evacuation. The answer is Chernobyl. Correct answer is Chernobyl. It says, Alex says Fukushima or Fukushima. Jordan said maybe 3 Mile Island. No. I believe Fukushima and 3 Mile Island, there was no evacuation. Well, there was evacuation from Fukushima, but not 3 Mile Island. And it can't be either of those because those happened during the day. Chernobyl happened at night. And also there was some could say that, no, Chernobyl was also a test as well. So it says only one of those fit those 5 constraints tightly. Correct answer is Chernobyl. So I gained 5 points. So it explains why it's that answer. Those 5 words weren't random. Reactor test, night narrows into a specific scenario. Explosion plus evacuation eliminates incidents that didn't escalate that way. Okay, so it says round 2, category: technology, software, bugs, and failures. 5 words: date, overflow, reset, systems panic. That is the Unix bug. You know, didn't we have this one before and I was confused by it? Unix bug does fit all of those. But you didn't close it to a specific historical failure. but it wasn't a history. Wouldn't that be an historical event though? Which was on the list. So it says year 2000 legacy code 2 digits. Expect to be heavy global concern. Didn't we have this before with, like I said, we had this before with Y2K and we couldn't really figure it out, and it was like, what event would that be tying to? Again, it's not saying it's a historical event, so that's technically not wrong on my part. Y2K, but it said it wasn't. Y2K? What says like? It has to be Y2K. But Y2K did. See, that's a tricky one. But it also got the right answer when it said this. So, ChatGPT AI isn't really good at this. It's good if it's presenting information, but it doesn't really work as a contestant. And it really doesn't work well if it was a contestant. But it kind of works. I didn't mean it kind of works as a host, but it fails in a contestant because of probability. We'll see if we can go through the nuances and everything. Probability and statistics is how you lose this game. You cannot use probability and statistics to get the right answer in this. Alright, so this is interesting. Category, round 3. Category is abstract, conceptual, cognitive biases. 5 words. Information, state, confirm, ignore beliefs. Beliefs. Ignore. Information seeing, confirming. That reminds me of the Enlightenment era. But beliefs, that would be an antithesis of reason. Ignore, you want to ignore everything because just because you rule something out doesn't mean that it doesn't, that you can just dismiss it. So that would be a type of cognitive bias? The Enlightenment era? The age of reason would be definitionally would be a cognitive bias. It is a concept. You can ask for five verse poems, or you can ask for 10 verse poems, and you can, let's see how. Give me a 5 verse poem. You read what echoes what you think. Pass the rest without a blink. The louder voice feels somehow true when it already agrees with you. The mind protects what it already knew. Let me read that again. Information seeker firm. Is this confirmation bias? Confirmation bias. Yeah. Okay. Ground floor category: space and aviation, space disasters. Launch code for film breakup broadcast. That would be. Would that be the? I believe that would be. Is that? This one tests radio stream between similar tragedies. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Code. I'm thinking that it's using the word code as in like the Cold War. Oh, launch. Yes. This was during the Cold War. What was that? Was that Challenger, I believe? I think it's Challenger. Or does that one still exist? Because the other one would have been Columbia. Film would have been Columbia, but that wouldn't be a launch thing. Because that doesn't fit because that did not happen at launch. That was when it was coming through the atmosphere. That would not be correct. ChatGPT makes errors, guys. I say that's incorrect. Columbia wasn't faulty at launch. It was re-entering the Earth atmosphere. It was, wasn't faulty at the. I mean, you could technically say it was faulty at the launch, but launching didn't have anything. At the time, it wasn't when it was going up. It was when it was coming down. Yeah, phone would have been Challenger, but the other things were pointing to. I mean, phone would have been Columbia, but the other two things were pointing to Challenger. Re-entry foam ring Texas debris. Yeah, Columbia. There would have been Columbia. Okay, category ubiquities. Now this is a big one. What we've been doing the entire time was notice how many rounds we just did. We did 4 rounds. So this is our 5th round. So what is our 5th answer? So, category ambiguities. There is no single obvious answer at the start. Now let's see if we can get it, because this is supposed to be running a certain way. And I'm going to see if it all comes together. Let me think. What was the first? I forget what the first question was. Okay, Chernobyl was the first one. All right. Multiple answers will fit. Your job is to eliminate, not guess. So we have to eliminate interpretations. There could be hundreds of interpretations. No penalty for hints. So we get unlimited hints on these. Score change is multiplied by the number of valid interpretations remaining. So what it's saying is we're supposed to eliminate as much as, if we need to, eliminate as much as possible. But we get more points if there's more ambiguities out there. But if we reduce those, we can actually, it's actually the most severe of any game show, because you can actually lose everything in the ambiguities round. I'll go into that, maybe detail later on. Okay, so talking through your reasoning is not an advantage. Ambiguity round. Atlantic ship ice night. Alright. There are multiple correct fitting answers right now. Give your answer or ask a question and now it. Alright. So April, Atlantic ship ice night. This is one of those questions where you could actually screw yourself over, because probability and statistics would say this is the Titanic. But I know it's not the Titanic. I'm pretty 100% sure that ChatGPT would not give this as Titanic. Let's see. I'm going to say, did the ship sink? Yes. For your question, more ships fit. Oh wait, it was a Titanic. That was... So, ChatGPT, I don't know if it's using probabilistic reasoning for that, but that would be a very ambiguous question. You reduce the possibility space. Like I said, AI uses probability and statistics, but to do a human would be better doing this game. But if you want to know the information and all of that and putting the words together, AI would do a much better job at that. But for how the game actually is supposed to run, humans would do it better. So you had the Titanic sinking, or you had the Olympic. The Olympic didn't sink. Anything that didn't sink is eliminated. It's Titanic. Yeah, it's Titanic. Now, here's the thing. You have to be careful what questions you ask. Because if I said, because certain questions you ask, you could say it in such a way where it eliminates the right answer, and then all you got left is the wrong answer, and you lose the game. So you gotta know, you gotta run down the list of what could this be. And you gotta be careful not to eliminate the right question or the right answer. You're also eliminating the right question too, but But because we removed the interpretation, we would have got 20 points. If we kept the interpretation and just made a random guess, Titanic or Olympic, we would have made 20 points. But because I removed one, I got 10 points. So after your question, did it sink? The answer space dropped to basically one dominant valid answer. Now that's contradictory to what it said over here. It says valid answers remaining very few now. But it says 10 points, which means there's only one interpretation that it could be. It couldn't be very few. See, you see the problem. So multiply times 1, you gain 2. Also, if you guess wrong, your multiplier will go against you. So if I only had, let's say I had 5 points, and I got the question wrong, well, my loss would be multiplied by the remaining interpretations. So, yeah. It says total score, me with 37. This is a scary emergency testing. You didn't jump to Titanic immediately or waste guesses. You did identify ambiguity, ask a high value constraint, collapse the space, answer with confidence. That's reasoning under uncertainty, not trivia. If I would have guessed immediately, I would have lost 20 points. If I was wrong. Because I thought it was Olympic. But apparently, because that would have been a trick question. So, I think that was pretty good. The only weakness... The only weakness I can see in this is that AI has that probability. I don't know if it was just this run with it. For me, it was very easy to answer these questions. But for a lot of people, they wouldn't be able to do what I did. But I'll probably make it look a lot easier than it really is. But that's how you play. And there's also the game is much... Well, actually, the game... That's pretty much the full game that we played there. But it didn't play it... The end part wasn't supposed to be like that. I mean, I don't know. I have to play some more to see if it did that last part right. I don't think it did, but I'm not going to explain that right now. But anyways, you guys can post your comments, like this video, tell me what you think about it, and because I was interested in making this do like 10 of these for videos, so make it like a regular thing on the channel. So if you guys are interested in that, feel free to ask, or feel free to tell me, but I'll probably do it anyways. Give me something to do besides just the normal stuff that I do on the channel. So that'll be it, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.